Hello friends, welcome back. Today we're doing our last one, Introduction to Currying and Partial Application. The arity of a function is the number of arguments it requires. Currying a function means to convert a function of n arity into n functions of arity 1. In other words, it restructures a function so it takes one argument, then returns another function that takes the next argument, and so on. Here's an example. Uncurried function, we've got x and y, and we return x, y. Curried function, return curried x, return function y, return x plus y. Alternatives using ES6, we've got a curried function. So we've set the curried is a function that's equal to the variable constant, and it's basically the exact same as this, except for it's in ES6. And so curried 1 and 2 returns 3. Why? It adds the first one and the second one together. This is useful in your program if you can't supply all the arguments to a function at one time. You can save each function call into a variable which will hold the returned function reference that takes the next argument when it's available. Here's an example of using a curried function in an example above. So call a curried function in parts. So we've got curried, which is still here, at 1, and then we console log fun for y, it's got curried, but then we can also pass in y, a second variable, which is 2, so that adds them together. So this essentially does the same thing as this one. Similarly, partial application can be described as applying a few arguments to a function at a time and returning another function that is applied to more argument. Here's an example. Impartial function. We have a function impartial that takes x, y, and z as parameters. We return x plus y plus z. If we were to do partial fn, then we go impartial.bind this 1 and 2. So partial fn 10 returns 13. Partial.bind this 1, 10. Wow. Fill in the body of the add function so it uses currying to add parameters x, y, and z. Okay, well, I mean, we can just do exactly what this guy did up here, right? The return x, y is equal to x plus y. Let's console log result, and that's good. Should return 60. Okay, then we use z. Okay, cool. No, I don't know if this is crazy. Let's just leave it here. That's not much. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I just basically followed the pattern there. This seems exceptionally difficult to me. I haven't really seen a lot of this. But let's try to write it. Yeah, I mean, we could write it like this, right? Like return a function of y, and then return a function of z, and then we say x plus y plus z. Maybe we need to return this as well. Yeah, that gets us the variable. And so this is the way to write it in old JavaScript. And then the other way is to destructure it. And so I'm guessing, yeah, apparently you can do this. This is something I haven't really seen before. I'm not super familiar with it. But this is the way that you do it with the old style JavaScript. And if we were to break this into arrow functions, oops, we still need the brackets there. There we go. So we're getting it closer. Now we could refactor this again by getting rid of the function and just passing y. And yeah, now we've refactored that same thing down. This is how the arrow functions really start to become more effective. Can we go all the way down there like that? No, we need to keep the final ones there. No, we don't actually have to do that. We just need to get rid of the return statement. Yeah, so that's the easiest way to do it. So that's the curried one. Interesting. I think I've used this a bit. So this is something, this is a pretty deep concept that I'm not entirely grasping. So this is just me trying to figure it out. Passes the test. So that's it for our functional programming section of the JavaScript algorithm and data structures portion of the curriculum. We're going to keep on moving. We've got intermediate algorithms, which is especially fun. So we'll be able to use a lot of the stuff that we've learned here. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next lesson.